In this video, we are going to learn Act 5, Scene 1 of The Tempest from line number 1 to line number 108. All of you take the Verity edition of The Tempest and turn to page number 105. In this scene, Prospero decides to forgive his enemies if they are repentant. He reminds Alonso of the cruel manner in which the latter treated him and Miranda. He accuses Sebastian of his share in the intrigue. He calls Antonio an unnatural brother who, for the sake of his ambition, expelled natural affection from his heart. He pays a tribute to Gonzalo for his sympathetic nature. He then reveals his true identity. Prospero now also relents towards Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo. It is decided that all should sail for Naples the next morning, from where, after attending the marriage of Ferdinand and Miranda, Prospero proposes to go to his native Milan, the dukedom of which he has now been restored to him. In Act 5, Scene 1, we find Prospero and Ariel talking with each other initially. Act 5, Scene 1 takes place before Prospero's cell. Prospero. Now does my project gather to a head. My project has reached its climax. My charms crack not, my spirits obey. My spells did not break, and my spirits obeyed all my commands. And time goes upright with his carriage. Everything is right on schedule. How's the day? What's the time? Ariel. On the sixth hour, it is nearly 6 o'clock, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease. Cease means stop. Master, it is 6 o'clock, and you told me that we should stop or our work should stop at 6 o'clock, and the hour has come. Prospero. I did say so. I did say so that our work should stop at 6 when I first raised the tempest. Say, my spirit, how fares the king and his followers? Now tell me, spirit, how is the king and his followers? Ariel, confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. Sir, the king and his followers are confined together as you asked me to confine them. So Ariel has confined them as per the instruction of Prospero. All prisoners, sir, in the lime grove which weather fence your cell, they cannot budge till you release. So all of them are like prisoners caught in the grove of lime trees, which protects your cell from the weather. They cannot budge, they cannot move till you release them. The king, his brother, and yours, the king, his brother Sebastian, and your brother Antonio, abide all three distracted. So these three people are mentally unstable, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. And the reminder here refers to Gonzalo and the others, are filled to the maximum capacity with sorrow. But chiefly him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo, his tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. So eaves refers to the projecting portions of roofs. So especially the person whom you called as the good old Lord Gonzalo is shedding tears seeing the pathetic situation of the king, Sebastian, and Antonio. Your charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender. So, your charm has worked on them very strongly, so that if you see them now, your affections, your emotions would become so tender. You would definitely feel sad for them. Prospero, dost thou think so, Spirit? Do you really think so, Spirit? Ariel, mine would, sir, were I human. So I would really feel sad if I were a human. Prospero, and mine shall, and so am I. Hast thou, which art but air, a touch, a feeling of their afflictions, and shall not myself, one of their kind, that relish all as sharply passion as they, be kindlier moved than thou art? So he asked Ariel, who is just an air, a touch, a feeling, whether he won't be having any kind of feeling like that being one of their kind. So Ariel, who is an airy spirit, feels sorry for these people. So Prospero says that being one of their kind, that is being a human being, I feel sad for them too. He is moved more than Ariel. Though with their high wrongs I am stuck to the quick. So he says, though I'm indignant about their evil deeds, I feel hurt. Yet, with my nobler reason gainst my fury do I take part, the rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. So here Prospero tells Ariel that he is guided more by reason than anger. Please underline all these lines, very important. Prospero tells Ariel that he is guided more by reason than anger. So he understands clearly that the honorable quality is forgiving and not taking revenge. Okay, the rarer action is in virtue than in forgiveness. Than in vengeance means that it is better to forgive than to take revenge. Forgiveness is one of the most important themes present in this play. Okay? They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. So, if they are penitent, if they are repentant, or if they feel sorry for their mistake, I'm not going to torture them anymore. Go release them, Ariel. So he is asking Ariel to release them because now they are repentant. And my charm I'll break, their senses I'll restore, and they shall be themselves. So I'm going to break my charm and I'm going to restore their senses. They are mentally unstable now. I'm going to restore their senses back to them, and they shall be themselves. Ariel goes to fetch these people. Prospero. Ye elves of hills, brooks, standing lakes, and groves. So now there is nobody except Prospero on the stage, and he is speaking it loudly. You spirits of hills, brooks, and stagnant lakes and groves, and ye that on the sands with princeless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune and do fly him when he comes. So, you spirits who chase the tides of the sea and run away from them when they return, you demi puppets, you small creatures, that by moonshine do the green sore ringlets make, whereof the ewe not bites, you small creatures, that under the moonlight you create green rings where the female sheep do not feed, and whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, and you are the one, or you are small creatures whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms, and you rejoice, you become very happy to hear the solemn evening bell, and with your help By whose aid means with your help, that is, you here refers to the spirits of hills, brooks, standing lakes, and the demi puppets. Okay, and with your help, weak masters though ye be, though you are weak masters, with your help I have bedimmed the noontide sun. So I have made dim, or I have darkened the sun at noon with your help, called forth the mutinous winds. So I had called forth or created the storm with your help. And twixt the green sea and the azure vault, set roaring war. So I had set a war between sea and sky with your help. This we see in Act 1, Scene 1, where the sea seems to be touching the Welkin's cheek, the sky's cheek. Miranda tells this in Act 1, Scene 2 to her father. Do you remember? So Prospero was able to do all these things with the help of the small puppets, demi puppets, or the spirits. Okay, now he is telling all these things. To the dread rattling thunder have I given fire. So, with your help, I gave fire to the thunder and rifted Joe's stout oak with his own bolt. So, using Joe's own weapon, that is the thunder, I rifted his own oak, his beloved oak. The strong based promontory have I made shake. I created earthquake with your help, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Spurs means roots, which means he uprooted the pine trees and the cedar trees with the help of these spirits. Graves at my command have waked their sleepers, oped and led them forth by my so potent art. So Prospero, using his magic, opened the graves and let the dead people, or made the dead people come back to life. He did all these things using his powerful magic, and the spirits helped him to accomplish all the desires of his heart. But this rough magic I here abjure. So now Prospero has decided to renounce his magic. He is going to stop or give up his magic. And where I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I'll break my staff. So I'm going to renounce my magic, but now I want to have some music to bring back the senses of Antonio, Alonso, and Sebastian. After this, I'm going to stop using magic hereafter. I'll break my staff. I'm going to break my magic wand, and I'm going to bury it certain fathoms in the earth. So he decides to bury his staff. And deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. So he is planning, or he has decided to drown his magic books. Here re enters Ariel. After him, Alonso with a frantic gesture, attended by Gonzalo. Sebastian and Antonio in like manner, attended by Adrian and Francisco. They all enter the circle which Prospero had made, and there stand charmed, with Prospero observing speaks. So what happens now? Now Ariel brings these people, and these three people, that is Alonso, Sebastian, and Antonio, are standing inside the circle. And Prospero is observing them, and he continues to speak. A solemn air and best comforter To an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains, now useless boiled within thy skull. So let this solemn melody comfort your fevered mind, which is useless. There stand, for you are spell stopped. So you are standing there because you are spell stopped. That is, with the use of my magic, I have immobilized you. Now he turns to Gonzalo and speaks to him. Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, my eyes, even sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. So, Holy Gonzalo, you are an honorable man, and out of human feelings I am shedding tears for you. The charm dissolves apace, and as the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. So, what is happening now? These people are coming back to their senses slowly. So, Prospero observes this and tells this remark: the spell is quickly vanishing from them as the morning dawns, creeps in, and melts away the darkness. They are coming back to their senses. Now, once again, he turns to Gonzalo and says, O good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal sir, to him you followest. You were so loyal to me, and you are my true preserver. I will pay thy graces home both in word and deed. I will definitely repay your kindness at home once we go back to Naples, both in words and deed. Okay, it means he is not going to just praise Gonzalo and leave him. He is going to show his kindness, showing back his kindness in actions as well. Most cruelly, so now he turns to Alonso and tells this to Alonso. But Alonso is not clearly in his sense, okay? Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Alonso, you manipulated you and my daughter. Thy brother was a furtherer in the act, and your brother Sebastian helped you in your evil deed. So now we understand why Sebastian is afflicted. Okay, thou art pinched for it now, Sebastian. So now he turns to Sebastian and tells, see, before 12 years, you helped your brother Alonso to exile me and my daughter from Milan. That's why you are being punished now. Now Prospero turns to Antonio and tells, flesh and blood, you brother mine. See, being one in flesh and blood, you, my own brother, you have wronged me. Okay? You are one. You and I are one. But you entertained ambition and expelled remorse and nature. You became ambitious, so you threw out regret or guilty consciousness, and you did not have any natural compassion. Who with Sebastian, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king? See, you joined hands with Sebastian, who is suffering a lot because of his guilty conscience now, and you plan to kill the king of Naples after even coming to this island. I do forgive thee, unnatural though thou art. You are an unnatural brother. No brother would do this kind of treacherous thing to his own brother, but you did so because of your ambition. But then also I forgive you. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. So, the rising tide of the senses, which is at the moment clouded and unable to function, will soon bring back their power to reason. Not one of them that yet looks on me or would know me. So now these people are getting back to their senses, and now Prospero tells, see, nobody is going to recognize me now. So Prospero is giving all these information to the audience. Okay, he is looking at these people, but these people are out of their senses, right? Ariel, fetch me the hat and rapier in my cell. So now Prospero orders Ariel to bring his hat and his sword. Ariel goes. I will discase me and myself present as I was sometime Milan. So now Prospero is removing his magic robe and he is dressing himself as the Duke of Milan. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free. So he decides to dress himself up and he asks Ariel to bring the clothes. Quickly, spirit, bring the clothes quickly, spirit, and you will be free soon. Re enter Ariel, who sings while helping Prospero to dress. So Ariel is now very happy. So Ariel is singing a song now. Where the bee sucks honey, there suck I. So I'm going to suck honey from where the bee sucks. In a cowslip bell I lie. So in the cowslip flower I make my bed. There I couch when owls do cry. I'm going to hide when owls do cry. On the bat's back I do fly after summer merrily. So on the back of the bat I will fly merrily in pursuit of summer. Merrily, merrily shall I live now under the blossom that hangs on the bough. So I'm going to live merrily under the blossom that hangs on the bough. So Ariel is extremely happy. Prospero. Why? That's my dainty Ariel. That's my delicate Ariel. I shall miss thee. I'm going to definitely miss you, but you will be free very soon. So, to the king's ship, invisible as thou art. So, Ariel, go to the king's ship and remain invisible there. There shalt thou find the mariners asleep under the hatches. There you will find the mariner sleeping under the deck. The master and the boatswain being awake, enforce them to this place, and you'll find the master and the boatswain awake. Make them come to this place presently, means at once. Bring the master and the boatswain here at once. I pray thee. I pray thee means I pray thee. Ariel, I drink the air before me and return, or your pulse twice beat. So he says, I'll bring them here before your pulse twice beat. So Ariel is also extremely happy. Prospero has forgiven all his enemies, and his enemies are coming back to their senses slowly. That's all for today's class, students. Thank you.